Well, there we go. Gina's giving us the green light. And yeah, in light of circumstances, what do you think? We should just get into this and get her done?
Yeah, we can just like maybe try to go a little shorter than normal.
Yeah, we may just do that. 'Cause I think it's the right thing to do. So
I don't
bullshit?
care, dude. We can hang out for as long as it doesn't matter.
Well, we don't need an XL episode today. I think
No,
that's safe to say.
I agree. I agree. So with all of that, no bullshit. Let's just get right into it. And let's podcast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's another episode of the Shedtime podcast.
What's going on, friends? It's your boy Stan Tenacious TX
no
Vape.
bullshit
This is
intro.
Michelle Lynn.
We are shooting for a slightly shorter, if not on time, episode today. Not just for Gina's sake, because Gina got a life too, but some of the boys got things in their lives going on too, and sometimes we just gotta take care of that.
I feel like dog shit. Shedheads, okay? I feel like complete, utter dog shit right now. All right.
Poop, like with a capital P. Poop.
Yeah,
I do not feel good right now. I may or may not have got the old vid again. I fucking hope I don't. But hey, it happens.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping I can get over this shit quick.
Our patrons can probably see it in the video. Like, James is looking a little rough today.
If I look about as good as I feel, holy shit, I am sorry, guys.
I'm telling you, man, you definitely look paler than normal right now. There's like no color in your face.
You don't really look that bad, but you just look. Yeah, you look like less alive than normal. I think that's. Really
I feel less alive, bro. Let me tell you that.
I believe that. I believe that,
dude. I'm very fortunate. I'm going to knock on wood that I only caught it once. And oh my God, that was like the fucking worst.
It was just going around at work, man. And like 3 people ended up catching it. So it was only a matter of fucking time.
See, I got lucky here. Somebody had COVID in my store, and it happened while I was on this leave of absence I've been on. So I've managed to dodge it. And on top of that, I've also managed to dodge at least the majority of their precautionary measures, because one of our policies is once somebody tests positive in the staff, everybody has to mask up again for 2 weeks. And dude, dealing with the public, trying to talk to people and explain shit with a mask on your face is... it's awful, dude. It's so bad. You start overheating. You can't breathe right because you got the damn mask in the way. It is not fun. And I get like it helps. I definitely see the difference between when people cough with a mask on and without. I get it, but damn, dude, it is not fun. It is not fun at all to be in customer service and masked up.
So just talking
to be masked up, period.
Yeah, just talking to people. If you're like just chilling, I don't mind it. I've worked at jobs that were like crazy dusty, and like I would wear a mask even at those jobs, and that was fine. You know what I mean? But like it's when you're like forced to talk to people, especially like someone like myself, like with a beard, dude. If you're wearing like one of those like regular kind of disposable masks, like, dude, it ends up like just like riding up, and then like my beard starts to ache like a motherfucker because it's just like all the hairs are getting pulled in different ways, and it does get really uncomfortable. Like, I totally get why that would get put in place. You know what I mean? Because like, how are they going to stay open and make money if everyone's off?
Mm-hmm.
So like, it makes sense to like be cautionary, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it does kind of suck. It's been kind of like freeing, like just like on that note, like not having to worry about like leaving the house with a mask or any of that stuff. Like, it's been nice. It doesn't mean that I'm still not cautious. I'm not like fucking willy-nilly or nothing like that, but it is nice. So I can see how that would suck.
Yeah, man. I'm not looking forward to it when I get back, but again, it's a necessary evil. And all this right after we heard the announcement that the pandemic is over. Yeah, really looks like it. People still getting sick. I mean, let's be real, right? I think
I think at this point, though, like the variants are a lot milder than they were before. You know what I mean? Because, like,
Exactly.
honestly,
Yep.
I don't think I feel quite as shitty as I did the first time I had this. But of course, I don't necessarily know 100% if I do or not. Home tests aren't necessarily 100% accurate. Which is why I'm going to take another one later on today just to be safe. But the variants that are out now aren't as intense as they were before, and a lot of people aren't having as many complications and stuff like that. It's stupid, dude.
It
I
seems
just
like
want
it's
this shit to be done.
It seems like it's just the nature of any disease, right? as
sure
people
that,
get used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that caught me at the wrong time. But yeah, as people continue to experience it and get used to it, your immune system is now familiar with it. You're going to be able to handle it better. It in and of itself is going to, mutate, get variants that'll inevitably become weaker. And yeah, at some point, I think that like we're going to reach a stage where we're going to refer to COVID like we refer to the common flu, right? Like, it's like, yeah, I caught the flu. It sucked, but I'm back. You know what I mean? Like, I think COVID's going to end up in the same kind of a situation where.
Well, if you've noticed, there hasn't been any cases of the flu since COVID.
Well, there have been.
No, there has been. I just think that like that's probably less notable.
Well, and a big part
I'm
of that.
just saying, I haven't heard of one single case. All I've heard is COVID.
Well, a big part of that too is the fact that, again, for 2 years people stayed masked constantly, so you can't spread the flu when you've literally got a mask on that's preventing you from spreading those germs. So that was a big part of that for sure. It's just like allergies. I noticed that for those couple of years, like, I didn't suffer from allergies at all. And then my first springtime without masks on this year, I got rocked because my body was like, what is this? Allergens? Fuck you. We're gonna basically kill you for a little bit with this. And I mean, shit, it's only been maybe a month since like I've been able to speak without every fucking 4 words because of my allergies. So yeah, definitely think that played a lot into that. And shit, I just hope I don't have to go back to it.
Yeah, I think that it's not going to be around forever, like to that level that it is now. You know what I mean? Obviously, can't be. Well, it could be, I guess, but I don't think that it will be. But I just hate being sick, boys. Like, I'm not like a fucking baby. Like, when I'm sick, I'm not like fucking like, oh, bring me soup. Like, but I don't love being sick. Like, I'd much rather just be fine. I'd rather be like down for like an evening. You know what I mean? But that's kind of as far as it goes for me. Like, after that, I'm like, yeah, dude, I fucking hate being sick.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't ever want to actually be physically ill.
Dude, I get like 2-3 day hangovers these days. Like, I haven't drank in a couple years, but I remember the last time I got like somewhat drunk. Like, I wasn't even like throw up drunk, like not even close to that. Like, I was like fairly drunk, I guess, whatever. I don't know. But dude, no joke, I had like a 2-day hangover, boys. Like, I didn't feel normal for 2 days. Like, that's how, like, I guess I'm just old. But I also just like hate hangovers, man.
I relate to that though.
For fucking cannabis, bro. I never get cannabis hangovers.
That's what I was saying. Like, I relate to that because that's what turns me off on drinking too. Like, I hate that when you wake up in the morning and that stale alcohol flavor. And even like when I drink responsibly, like, my wife's a bartender, so I definitely am really good about, drinking water in between drinks, shit like that. And even then, like, I am not a big fan of the morning after. When it's like you wake up, you get the dry mouth, and you're like, oh man, I definitely drank alcohol last night. I feel it. Like, my whole body is angry at me for doing that. And you're right, I don't get that from weed. I've definitely experienced like a weed hangover, if you will, like waking up in the morning still feeling a little stoned and groggy. But that always kind of shakes off after a cup of coffee and some breakfast. You know what I mean? It's not like a hangover where I'm like, fuck, dude, I need some greasy French fries and a hole to crawl into for another hour.
Another hour, dude.
Well, yeah,
When I was younger,
I got to eat
didn't
my
have
French
any of
fries
that
and
shit,
then
right?
and then be in the hole, you know?
Yeah, dude. When I was like younger, dude, I was like the person that I could just like get off work or like even high school and just from Friday until like Sunday morning at like 7 a.m. I would just be drinking like heavy, like just like a piece of shit degenerate kid or like young adult. And I used to just be able to recover. I would just go home, get home, and like sleep almost all Sunday away. Like I'd get home at like 8 a.m., 7 a.m., just like hammered drunk, and then I would fucking sleep until like 7 o'clock at night. Wake up, eat a meal, probably like get some shit time in, and then go back to bed, go to work on Monday like nothing. Now, dude, I would probably get a cold. I would probably be like, my immune system would just be like shut down. I'd fucking like, dude, I'd be toast if I tried to pull those maneuvers.
Oh, dude, I don't even want to think about those kind of experiences. I remember getting alcohol poisoning as a young teenager, and no, not a fun time. 3 days in bed in pain because your whole body hurts like the flu because like you're an idiot and you drank that much for that long without any food or water. Ooh, yeah. I don't ever want to do that to myself again.
Dude, I think that's like
for
one of
sure.
those things, right? Sorry, James, what were you saying?
I was just saying I've had a few of those nights for sure. Ones that I don't remember.
Yeah, but those were probably when you're younger and you could recover slightly, quicker. Did you, or are you, you're not talking about recently, right? You're talking
No,
about,
this is dude, I stopped like drinking a long time ago, dude. Like probably like when I was 25 is when I really stopped when I stopped drinking. At that point it was just like I'd have one here or there. But dude, so like 5 years now, 6 years now. But dude, when I used to go hard, dude, yeah, I used to fucking go until I blacked out. And then wake up the next morning feeling a little shitty, but not nearly as bad as I did like once I start getting hangovers. Once I started really getting hangovers, bro, is when I stopped drinking. Like, nope, I'm done.
Also, dude, I bet you any money that if you had 6 beers, you'd feel worse than back then when you probably like drink like a fucking 20 rack or
Oh,
some
dude,
shit.
if I had like 4 or 5 now, I'd probably be like, all right, yeah, fuck this. I'm done.
Yeah, no, when you're like
that's where I'm at.
23, 24 even, you're like,
Dude, I used to kill 30 packs by myself.
yeah, and you probably didn't even feel as rough as you would now after
Yeah,
4 or 5.
I
That's how it
didn't
is
give
for
a
me
shit,
too,
dude.
bro.
I was all about the fucking just getting shitty, dude.
No, I'm hard pressed to get through a 4-pack of beers in a night. Like, no,
Dude, 1 or 2 is like my thing, and that's about it. I might have a couple more if I'm like with people and like I'm feeling the vibe, but other than that, I don't really enjoy it, man.
yeah, it's like
Not for me.
you go from drinking 2 or 3 beers in a day to 2 or 3 in a month. And in some cases 2 or 3 in a year. Which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, I gotta clarify that immediately for anybody getting it twisted right now, that I honestly think that it's fucked up that we shame people who don't drink. I think it's better when I hear that people don't ever drink at all, and not just like
Isn't
I
that
have an
funny,
alcohol
though?
problem.
Is people shame people for not drinking, but then you get shamed for like smoking weed?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, that's the society, right? It's sad. But
It's just,
yeah, it's
no,
fucking
I just
dumb.
think it's hilarious though. It's just like, yeah, dude, I don't like getting fucked up and being stupid. What's wrong with that? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I prefer to stay in control
Yeah.
during my buzz. Thank you. You know?
No, man, I remember even like when I was in my like mid-20s and like I would get drunk, right? But I would then like, finish off the night and just get high, right? Like that'd be like my nightcap. And I remember like some people that I've known. Now a lot of my friends were like people that would be like, "Yo, Chris, let me see that shit." But like there'd be people, they would like shame you a bit. They'd be like, oh yeah, they make like a burnout comment or something, like kind of like one of those like weird, you know what I mean? I used I don't know. That shit used to always bother me. Be like, yo, you're literally drinking. Like, who cares? How are you judging me because I'm smoking weed? This is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. It's like, judge me for smoking cigarettes, please. Not weed. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not making a crack rock over here and fucking smoking
Yeah.
crack. I'm just packing a bowl. Calm the fuck down. Like, it's not a big deal. And I agree. Shame me for smoking cigarettes, not for smoking weed. Because, pound for pound, the cigarettes are far more toxic. far more toxic.
Dude.
So
It's just, oh. But you know what? I didn't care about that then. And I don't think that they even cared about that then. You know what I mean? It's just be like people that there's people I think that maybe tried smoking weed and it just was like not the right strain for them, or they were not in the right mindset or something. And it just like kind of like hurt them a little bit. And then they instantly thought that everybody got that wrecked and liked feeling that way or something. You know what I mean? And like they would just be like, yo, like, why do you even smoke weed? Like
I also have friends growing up that they gave up weed, at a point in their life because unfortunately for them, it was the addict behavior, right? Like it was the weed high can't get me the high I want to be. I want to be high, not just weed high. And so for those people, it kept progressing and it was like pills and then, shit like that. And the next thing you know, those are the kids who are fucking dead now because they were heroin addicts eventually. They just kept chasing the next bigger high. And, at this point, I don't think anybody listening doesn't know how those stories end. Like it's never a positive ending. Everybody loses in that scenario. It's crazy. I had a friend of mine who kept doing heroin after his best friend died in the same bed. Like they both passed out high on dope, sitting in the bed. One of them woke up, the other didn't. And the one who woke up kept using, and it was like, dude, like that should have been I need to go to rehab moment right there. Like I just woke up next to a corpse. It's time to go to rehab and get my shit together, get my life back on track. And long story short, the dude did eventually get his life together. As of the time of this recording, last I talked to his sister, which is probably only a couple of months ago, he's doing really well. He's off drugs, has a family. He's doing really well. So good for him. He did eventually get his life together. But I mean, dude, I think if I woke up next to my best friend dead next to me, like I'm going to rehab immediately. I'm literally calling somebody and saying, and while you're taking him, take me to rehab right now. Let's go. Because I can't keep doing this. I'm going to end up that way. It's scary, man. It's scary.
Dude, it's tough. Like you see people like in your life, like kind of go through tough times, and like hopefully not for everyone, it's like those kind of tough times. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you see someone that was like drinking too much, or dude, there are people that can smoke too much weed. Like it affects their life. So there is always like that extreme person that you kind of know in your life, and you just see it happening, and you're like, yo, hopefully like they can figure this out. Because like I've tried to like show support, but that's not doing anything, and I'm not their dad. So like I'm not going to, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you can only go so far. But like I said, I never dealt with anyone doing like heroin or anything. I think that I would try really hard to remove myself from that, or remove that from the situation if I could. I've always been very nervous about heroin. There's like no judgment for anyone. I would try to help someone. I'm sure that most people that might have used heroin are happy that they don't anymore. You know what I mean? I would assume. I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
Well, that's the addiction cycle, right? For some people, it's like I've talked to people who are like, no, listen, like I crave it every day, and I've been clean for years and years, and that's why I keep going to meetings. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing, because I will literally go back to it at the first chance. And it's like that's terrifying. That's terrifying. Like my frame of addiction of that level is cigarettes, right? Like that's my only frame. And nicotine is a pervasive addiction, sure, but it's not nearly as destructive as hard drugs. Like I know what it's like to be like, yo, I got to scrounge up some dough because I haven't had a cigarette in 4 hours and I need to buy a pack of butts. Like I understand that craze of addiction. I don't understand the depths it can take you because nicotine never did that. But then again, though,
It's a
nicotine is
scary
readily
thought, isn't
available.
it?
It is a scary thought.
Because I've never found anything that really, like, I'd probably say the same for me, Sean. Like, the only thing that I've ever found that's like ever had me where it's like, fuck, dude, I need it. I need one. You know what I mean? Where I'm like searching through fucking couch cushions and shit, scrounging for change to go get a fucking Lucy from the little liquor store around the corner or whatever. But yeah, dude, I've never had it to where it's like I've gone to like extreme, you know, depths to acquire, or, you know, or it's put me in a really fucking shit spot because of, you know, whatever. But I definitely have known people and have had people in my life that have, you know, experienced those things, or I've kind of gotten to sort of see what could happen through them. And it's unfortunate, dude. It's a bummer, man, for sure.
It's wild. It's really wild. It's like I've probably said it before, but it's like I often joke that part of my job is to sell drugs to drug addicts. And this is the crazy thing that I've learned is that, like, when you get that deep into your drug addiction, you kind of don't even know how to find less hard drugs anymore. So, like, it's a weird conundrum when you have like a place like Massachusetts, California. I'm sure it's even happening in Canada, where like people in like legal recreational shops still have to deal with like strung out coke and fucking dope addicts and shit because they don't know where to find weed on the street. The only people they talk to fuck with hard drugs. So it's like when they're having a moment where they're like, yo, I need to take a little break, I need to smoke some weed, they've got to come to an actual dispensary. And like there are days I'm like, yo, like we've literally been given rolled up bills for payment with residue still on them.
No,
yeah, for sure, dude.
For
Like
sure.
it happens.
For sure. Yes, for sure it does. But yeah, but you're not necessarily like, that's the thing though, like just on that note of like you selling basically like drugs to addicts or whatever, you know what I mean? But like I think that that's like such a low number, and like if they're doing coke, like they're just like getting weed to smoke like cigarettes, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like
You get the other weirdos too. You get people.
it'd be
on
like,
all
well,
sorts of
that's
drugs,
dude. That'd be
right?
like,
That's
can you
the
imagine
thing.
working at a liquor store, Sean? That'd be depressing as
Dude,
fuck.
I worked in a store that sold beer and wine. It didn't sell actual hard liquor, but dude, that convenience store had some of the weirdest fucking people. And on top of that, when I worked as a gas station manager, it was right in the center of downtown, and it was at the height of my town's heroin epidemic. So the amount of like fucked up weird people I had to see then, especially with a liquor store right behind us, yeah, you got a lot of like transient individuals who were in some cases on the street by choice, and you had to do your job. You had to deal with those people. And like I'll never forget one of my breaking points when I finally knew I had to leave that job was the dude who fucking walked into my store trying to tell me he needed to use my bathroom to clean himself up because he had just been hit by a car. And my first thought was, bud, why didn't you stick around and, you know, get some medical attention from the ambulance? He said, oh, because nobody called. That seems highly unlikely. Somebody just got hit in the streets by a car and nobody called the authorities. So like I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, I need to do the right thing. So yeah, here, I gave him the key to use the bathroom. In the process of that discussion, this dude nodded off in front of me and face planted right into my lottery machine on the counter. So it was like, yeah, here, go clean yourself up. And as he walked into the bathroom, I immediately called the authorities. Like, this dude's gonna overdose in my bathroom right now. And he did. I had to give the police the spare key to get in, and he was out cold on the floor. He had wrecked my whole bathroom. So like, I don't know how he made the mess he made in the short time, but he did. But that was when I really realized, man, like shit gets real for people out here. Like even in the idyllic streets of Plymouth, where we try to paint this beautiful tourist town image, like it's still here. I mean, I grew up here. That friend of mine who passed away, it happened here in Plymouth. Like it happens everywhere. Your small towns, your big cities, it's and everything in between. And man, it is scary when you are not prepared in any way. Like there's no training manual for that shit in retail, where it's like how to deal with a heroin addict. Like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, you'd have to really like you could probably find a way to do that, you know what I mean, to be prepared, but that's like beyond, you know what I mean?
Dude, like
that's beyond shit.
Nobody's completely telling you that that's going to be part of your day-to-day life when you're going to run a convenience store. So like shit can get crazy. And again, like it's always the minority, right? Like you're not going to have that be the majority of your customers. The majority of your customers are going to always be, just regular everyday people coming and going, standard transactions, standard small talk, everything's fine. But man, when you get the crazy ones, nobody can prepare you for that. I remember this kid that lived in a group home up the street from our store, and he had he had Asperger's, if I remember correctly. So he couldn't regulate his emotions. And so he basically was walking around on the edge of blind rage at all times. And I remember this kid threatening to hit one of the girls who worked at the Dunkin' Donuts in my store. And so I had to intervene and get involved. And this kid started backing up and balling his fist like he was going to throw a punch at me. And I was like, do it, kid, please do it. If I ever get fired from this job, it'll be the best reason ever.
Yeah, for real.
Like
it'll be the best story.
Like please do it. It'll be the last mistake you ever make, son. I dare you. And obviously, he never actually threw the punch. He walked off, and that was the way I wanted to see it end, honestly. But that was the actual final straw. It was after that day I talked to a buddy of mine. He's like, yeah, actually the courier company I work for is hiring. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, get me that job now. Let's go. I'll quit tomorrow. But dude, yeah, they don't prepare you for crazy out there.
No, man, but that's just like one of those things you like learn over time, like I honestly I don't ever really remember like meeting like a Karen for a long time. Like just in my regular day-to-day life, like not even working at a place like that. But
just like one out in the wild.
Yeah, it's like once you started to see them, maybe it was just like an age thing. It's like once I turned into like 17, 18, I was like used to doing enough things, and you'd see how some people would act, and you'd be like, yo, these people are fucking wild. Like this fucking bitch is complaining about that. Like that's fucking dumb. You know what I mean?
It's like, lady, there's bigger things to worry about in life than, you having to wait 5 minutes to be seated at this restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, there's people waiting. You know what I mean? They're understaffed. It happens, lady. Chill the fuck out.
Not only that, you're an adult. There's like kids around. It's like, be fucking respectful. Like, set a good example. That's not being fucking.
The world doesn't revolve around you, lady.
Yeah, I think the internet has exacerbated that though, right? Because like we've caught a lot of shit on camera now, and we could share that very quickly on internet websites. And then that shit goes viral because when you see a crazy person in the drive-through dive through like, I will go Super Saiyan on you, bitch. You're like, wait, I gotta run that back. Did she really just say I will go Super Saiyan? What? Like,
people are wild, man.
People really are. I'm telling you.
Dude, honestly, the way that like everything's going though, like I wonder if there's going to be not like a reset, like that's ridiculous, but a correction. You know what I mean? It's like a market. It's like society is like a market, and it kind of like gets like crazy volatile. All these things are happening, and then there's like this correction, and then people will not necessarily like people might be shamed like publicly for doing those things, instead of just getting videoed and like uploaded to fucking, Twitter or Instagram.
I mean,
it's like, boo, sit down, lady.
That's
like, wait, like the rest of us.
Isn't that cancel culture though? Like that's the shit everyone's against right now. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's the idea of cancel culture in its because here's the thing, right? Like, obviously, it can get taken in the wrong direction, but in its purest sense, the idea is you're a piece of shit. You should be deplatformed because you're a piece of shit. And at the heart of that, I kind of agree. Like, if you're a piece of shit, like, all right, total example, you're a fucking Nazi and you're on YouTube spouting your Nazi bullshit, you should be deplatformed. People should deplatform you. Your fucking shine should be completely taken away. You're a piece of shit. Point blank. Like,
dude, I'm not gonna argue against you, but like the one thing is like, if they had their own platform, could they do that? And would like I fight to take that down? I don't know. Like, I downvote it, I guess. Like I you know what I mean? It's like this weird thing. Like, I think that those people, it doesn't make sense to me at all. Like it's like not nice. It's like everything about it is negative, right? So like to me, it doesn't make sense. But like on YouTube, yeah. But if you just like had your own website, I mean, I would not. I'd sign a petition, but I'm not going to be like fucking leading the charge. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying that for anything. That's not just like white supremacy.
Well, yeah, because it's like because like at
I
a
don't need to
certain
cancel
point,
anything individually.
and I'm kind of being devil's advocate here for a second, guys. So just hear me out. I'm not saying I lean either way on this. This is just for conversation, okay? Because like at a certain point, you kind of start walking a line where it's like, okay, we have the freedom of speech, but only certain people do. Only if we agree with what they're saying, and that's where it's like, fuck, dude. Because I totally agree with you guys. I wouldn't want some fucking guy out there spouting some Nazi bullshit or whatever. But at the same time, I'm free to have my opinion. How is he not free to have his? But like, dude, it's fucking shitty all around, dude. And that's the whole thing that sucks, bro. Is because there's shitty people out there that have fucking shitty opinions about things. And with the ability of fucking social media, now we get to hear all of their shitty fucking opinions on
Like
top of all of our exactly every fucking one on top of us having our own opinions. And at the end of the day, not a lot of people are able to accept that your opinion, like your opinion may not be everybody else's opinion, and some people aren't okay with that, and they take it extra level, you know what I mean, compared to just disagreeing. They're like, no, fuck you, you have to agree with what I think, you know what I mean? And that's where shit gets fucking crazy, bro.
well, and that's where I agree with you too, right? Is that like, I think as a generality, right? Like something like Nazism, people are like, yeah, we can all agree that's immoral, right?
Exactly.
Like pedophilia, everybody can agree,
you know what
that's
I mean?
not cool, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everybody
that's what
across
I'm
the
saying.
board can agree with it. Anybody who's on that level is a piece of shit. So like those are certain things. But I agree with you. There are points where the line gets too foggy, and who gets to be the judge on morality?
Exactly. Who gets to say what you can and can't say? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And who's to say what's moral and not moral based off of whose belief? You know what I mean? Because everybody's got a different belief system at the end of the day. Some may share the same, but a lot of people don't. You know, so it's like that's
you're right though. You're 100% right about that. Because like Chris said, like deplatform them from a YouTube. Sure, I agree. Like that's YouTube's right.
They can have their own platform to do so.
But yeah,
who
you
want
want
to say they can't?
Exactly. You want to make SS Video fucking web service and make your videos there. Then I'm also
not saying
against.
Like I still think
I totally get
that.
We're just saying we get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I'm also against censoring the internet as a whole, right? Like the internet's supposed to be a free and open thing. And so if you want to make that platform and you want to get all of your like-minded individuals to gather there, well, for the sake of general goodness, great. Get the fuck off of a public platform like YouTube, or not public because it's still a private company, but you know what I mean? A ubiquitous platform like YouTube, and go spout your hateful bullshit on your forum. You know what I mean? I agree with it to that extent. But then again, right now the question asked, at what point does everyone start to agree that like, all right, this person needs to be handled? Like that. All right, so context here. I've been watching a lot of like these weird list videos on YouTube about things like, say, 10 of the worst YouTubers is one of the examples, where like there are people who have done some genuinely awful things, in some cases even shown them on YouTube, like people who have like hurt animals on YouTube and how they've been deplatformed, all that kind of shit.
Terrible.
Other things like people who have like abused children, and it's like they're getting deplatformed and those sort of things. Eventually, obviously, all of these people are being arrested and dealt with at the fullest extent of the law because they're law breaking. But that's where it starts to get me thinking, like, in some of these cases, like with the child abuse, there are people who they're no longer on YouTube, but they've just retreated to forums where they're with like-minded individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where like it gets weird, right? Like, you know that, say, a pedophile forum exists. You are against the censorship of the internet, but you also agree that that forum is of absolute immoral situation. Where do you draw the line, and who gets to judge that? Because I don't want to be the judge. I definitely do not want to be the guy who's like, yes, no, not me. I don't want to be stuck making that decision. How do you make that decision? Can you even make that decision? Because at the end of the day, like, people have the right to expression and free speech. So
I feel like it's like you're saying, though, it's to like a certain extent, you know what I mean? To the point where it starts to become harmful. I think that's like, you know, when it's like, when you're like, when it's something that's like obviously out there to harm, like, I feel like that's kind of where like that line ends. And it's like, all right, like, you're obviously doing this to cause harm in some way, shape, or form to either some group, people, or establishment. Like, I think that's kind of like, well, but at the same time, who's to say what's harmful and what isn't? You know what I mean? If it's just
exactly,
it's a fucking gray area, bro.
I think at the end of the day, that's why the dark web still exists, right? Because like,
oh, dude, if you could only imagine what was on there, man.
The authorities know it exists. They have access to all of this just like anybody else. They can follow the exact same steps and get there. So how come nobody has done anything about it? It's because I think you can't. It's such a impossible conundrum to answer. Like, how do you deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird thing, and this is the result of me watching too much YouTube and falling down that goddamn rabbit hole.
Conspiracy theories, bro.
Yo, talking about conspiracy theories, I'm glad you brought that up. Have you ever heard of the back rooms?
I've heard of Backpage.
I've heard of
Dun 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 dun. Those are both good jokes. So the backrooms is this conspiracy theory that if you glitch through the matrix that is our reality, you could end up in what is known as the back rooms. And the back rooms are basically these endless hallways. It's just yellow walls and buzzing fluorescent lights over your head and endless maze-like hallways. And the story goes that there is a portal that'll take you to a different level of the back rooms. But basically, anybody who's ever fallen into the back rooms gets trapped because it's this endless set of levels with seemingly no way out. There are people who claim that they have briefly viewed the back rooms. They've not entered, but seen them through, varieties of different stories. But yeah, I started reading into this story of the back rooms, and dude, it's weird. It's on some straight up crazy, like, movie shit, really. Like, this sounds like a plot line out of the next Matrix movie.
Dude, no, it actually does, dude. It actually does.
Like, it's wild. But there have obviously, if I remember correctly, the whole discussion starts out on like a 4chan, 8chan style forum, and from there, it continues to grow its legend and mythology, to the point now that there are like several video games that are based on it. And I've played a couple. I'll tell you what, that shit is unnerving. And like I'm sitting here and I know I'm just playing a cell phone game, right? And it's like you're literally walking down these endless hallways listening to the buzzing, and every now and then you hear just some like screaming sound. Allegedly, in the back rooms there's some sort of like spirit monster thing that lives there and feasts on the souls of the people who fall through the back room. So yeah, it's interesting. If you can get past the first level and find one of the portals, allegedly one of the other levels of the back rooms is an endless parking lot where you're literally just roaming a parking lot forever till the end of days.
Yeah,
And-
that literally scares me. Why are you saying that out loud? I don't think that could ever happen, but that's like a nightmare for me.
Right?
That sounds stupid. I'm just kidding.
I tell you what,
That's dumb.
That's dumb, dude.
that would be a
Like-
genuinely awful existence. You're just stuck in an empty parking lot, roaming it forever.
Yeah, that's dumb. Fuck that. I ain't even trying to go to these back rooms, bro. I'm cool right here. Endless
Dude.
hallways, bro. What? Why?
Yeah, I like walls.
I don't
you know what
understand
I
how
mean?
they're called back rooms when it just sounds you're walking hallways and parking lots, bro. Where's the room?
That's the goal. You gotta find it. The
Where's
worst part is the room.
what's-
The room takes
what's
you to
in
the
the
next
room?
endless place.
What's in the room? That's what I want to know. Somebody go and find out what's in the room and tell me, and then maybe I'll go check it out.
If it's pizza, I'm there.
Dude, pizza. Oh,
Oh, dude, I want some pizza.
I could
there have to be
probably
a coffee machine in that room too, though. Like for real. Like pizza. Imagine you just like would open the box, and every time you'd open the box, it'd be a full pizza. Like, and you close it, and like later on, you're like, "Yo, I'm fucking hungry," and you go over and you just open it up, and it's pizza, like a full pizza.
I'd
And
be
then
about
there's a
that
coffee
life.
machine that like you don't even do anything. You just press a button, and the coffee comes out with like the cream. You're just like, oh, that's life, dude.
Dude, you're just describing heaven to me. Endless pizza and endless coffee. Yep. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, those are two phenomenal things in my life that I've always loved. I actually not ate that much pizza like over the last like maybe year or so, but I still every time I have it, I'm like, yo, pizza is so good, dude.
Dude, it's honestly one of my favorite things.
It's
When I had Ohio style pizza in Ohio, it was like or Ohio Valley pizza. So it was like Ohio Valley style pizza. It was pretty good. I can't wait to go back. I'm going back at the end of
That's
November.
all right. It's
It was
not my
pretty good,
favorite.
man. I don't know.
what makes it Ohio Valley style?
It's just like thick,
So it's a pan
Like-
pizza.
kind of. It's whatever, dude. It's like it's pizza. It's just like different,
Is it like the
Mhm.
grandma style where they put the sauce on top?
kind of.
See, I kind of like the grandma style.
Like it's cool, but like I would much rather just have normal. I'm more of like a pan, not necessarily pan, but like hand tossed. Kind of thinner.
You want that New
No.
York, that Neapolitan.
Yeah, like that. That's pizza to me, bro. Like when it's real thick and shit. Like I like to have more than one slice. And with that real thick stuff, you can only really eat like one piece, and it's like, fuck, dude, that's a lot of fucking bread. I would rather have more toppings and more cheese and sauce on there, with the bread just being the vessel. You know what I'm saying? Just to get it to like if it flops over at the end a little bit, and I gotta kind of fold it, dude. Fuck yeah,
Mm.
give me
See,
that shit.
I love a good New York slice. I love a good Neapolitan slice. I'm like pro all pizza. The one
I'm
that
not saying I won't eat it. It's just not my favorite.
the one I find that
Because
oddly,
honestly, all pizza's pretty good. You can't
Yeah.
really fuck pizza up too much.
I mean, I've had some fucked up pizza, but yeah.
but still, it's still okay. You know what I mean? Like it's still edible for the most part.
Yeah, this pizza wasn't edible. That
Unless
was where
it's
I was like,
burnt,
yo,
yeah.
you fucked that up. No, like they use bad ingredients. Like when you pick that pizza up and you can smell that something's rancid in it, you're like, oh, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool. And this was recently, so obviously I'm never going back to that pizza joint again. But yeah, the pizza is just such a brilliant food due to the fact
Dude, it's his own fucking plate, even. You know
that's
what I
the thing.
mean?
Like it by design was, a chef taking some leftover bread dough and putting some things on it in order for people to take with them for lunch. So they could wrap that up, throw it, heat it back up at lunchtime real quick, and unwrap it and have a quick good meal. So it was like this brilliant, like, hey, we're gonna make an open face sandwich you can carry with you easily. I love it. It's brilliant. It's literally brilliant. Like every culture now seems to have their own style too. So like Greek pizza, not a huge fan. That's kind of my like least favorite pizza right there. Don't like their crust as much, but Greek pizza, you've got even Chinese pizza now. There are Chinese places that are starting to make their own versions of pizza, and let me tell you, a General Gao pizza does not suck.
Weird.
Like using
I just like your standard pizza, man. Give me a red sauce, and some cheese and some pepperoni and sausage, or just like I'll take just standard cheese. Just don't throw a bunch of veggies and shit on it. I hate that.
vegetables taste like sad,
I
as
don't
Uncle
like
Roger would say.
I don't like them on my pizza, bro.
It depends what vegetables you're talking about. Like I can handle some like red peppers, or like I can handle
No,
onions.
I don't
I
want
like
anything.
onions. Hot peppers. But yeah, and olives. Yeah, I like those
I
too.
take olives. Olives are the only thing I'll put on there, and other than that,
But,
I
like,
don't want any veggies.
if you put
on my
like
pizza.
broccoli, you ever had like the pizza where it's
No.
like broccoli, chicken, and it's got a white sauce, like an Alfredo sauce? It's
Yep.
like not the worst, but it still is just like not right.
I'm
You
not
know what I
really a
mean?
fan of baked broccoli.
I don't like broccoli.
Oh, but Sean, just on the note of what an Ohio Valley pizza is. So it is a thicker crust pizza. It's like the actual exact process, like don't quote me, but I'll give you like a rough idea. And it's like something close to this. So they basically get like a fairly thick crust. They put it in like a higher, like a deeper dish pan. And then they cook it with the maybe just the sauce. Then they like pull it out. They put some cheese on it. They put some toppings on. They put it back in, and then when they box it, or like right before they pull it out to box it, they put like a bunch of cheese on top. So when you get it, the cheese on top is like kind of like really gooey, and everything else, it's not crispy at any level because it's like not even really cooked. It's just cooked with the steam
Yeah,
in
it's
the
just
box.
melted. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's kind of a different experience, but I don't know. I thought that it was pretty good. And literally, dude, when Will ordered it, he ordered just straight out cheese. And I still was like, that was pretty good. Like, I wonder what that would be like with toppings on it.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of curious because like I wonder, are they toppings under the cheese? Well, obviously toppings are under the cheese regardless in that setup. But like the grandma pizza, for an example, that's where you actually put sauce on top. So you're doing dough, toppings, cheese, and then sauce over it. Really unique pizza. Also really tasty because I do love a good red sauce. So I was wondering if it was something similar to that because there's also a variation. There's a regional variation where it's a deep dish pan pizza, and they put a little bit of sauce on top of the dough, but then once it's all basically almost done, they take it out and they put just a couple dollops of sauce on the top, like so there's like just a couple of pools, and they throw it back in, so it just kind of like melts in with the cheese. Which is interesting too. It's just puddles of hot lava if you're like me and have to eat it immediately. So, very dangerous. I don't always recommend it. But hey, it's like a Stouffer's French bread pizza. You're gonna burn the roof of your mouth, but you do it anyway.
And can we all agree that pizza the next day is fucking amazing?
Dude, okay, so you guys like you'll pull it right out of the fridge and eat it, or you like
Yep.
pull it out of the fridge and microwave it, or you pull it out of the
Right
fridge
out
and let
the
it
fridge,
chill?
right out the fridge, bro.
Okay.
I'll honestly, it don't matter. I'll do it either way, but majority of the time, I'll just grab it out the fridge and just eat it cold. I don't give a fuck. It's still delicious. I honestly, I don't really like reheating it that much. I might be more prone to like letting it sit for a second and like getting to room temp maybe.
Yeah, I'm
But
a
like,
room temp guy with
I don't
day-old pizza.
necessarily like to heat it again, but I majority of the time I'll just eat it cold, dude. There's something about it that I just like. I don't know what it is.
I don't mind reheating it. However, I've definitely learned you got to do it right. Like you can't microwave it. You're gonna fucking kill what's left of it, and it's just gonna be cardboard. But like, obviously, I've used an air fryer. That's a great option if you can fit it in your air fryer. But the frying pan technique really impressed me because obviously, I don't want to heat my oven up and then cook it for 5 minutes in the oven to warm it up because that's just going to take way more time. I want to eat my pizza now. So using a frying pan and then throwing another frying pan over the top as a lid to just kind of like trap the steam so it continues to reheat all the way through. Not a bad technique. And you get that little bit of crispness on the bottom as though like you went to one of those places that throws it back in the oven when you buy a slice. Very nice, very enjoyable, and definitely the most like fresh pizza in a reheat situation because pizza gang.
You know what? Honestly, like I'm cool with. So like for me, my way to eat like leftover pizza is probably to put it in the fridge in the box, right? And then I just like pull the box out like 15 minutes before I'm gonna eat. And then I eat it at like room temperature, close to room temperature. And like that's for me is like the best way to eat leftover pizza. I don't really love it straight out of the fridge. I can do it, but I'd prefer to like let it just like saying warm up is like weird to say, but I guess like warm up, like knock that chill off from the fridge and then eat it. Because like you're right, like leftovers when you reheat it, unless you're gonna like freshen up some of the toppings.
Yeah,
like,
it
it's
fucks
never...
up the crust most of the time. It kind of makes
Yeah.
it like Sean said, kind of cardboardy or like real stiff. You know what I mean?
Or like
It's
the cheese like melts off and then like
and
you
then
have
it
this
gets
like weird sharp edge and it's like
yeah, and then the cheese kind of tastes funky because it's like
Because
burnt
like
almost.
it's been double fucking cooked
Yeah.
now.
Don't like it.
And cheese is such a vital, important food source, right? Like cheese, when made correctly, is glorious. So don't abuse the cheese, people. That's my message. The more you know.
Pizza.
Dude, I love fucking pizza though. Pizza.
Yeah,
Getting
I love
calzone
pizza.
would be pretty fire right now too.
that's literally why I bought a glass pendant of a pizza slice because pizza is life. I am pizza gang till the day I die. I even have thought about it. There's an artist in New York, and she did resin castings of pieces of pizza,
Of actual pizza.
like an actual physical piece of pizza, and then she cast it in clear acrylic resin. And like I was very tempted to see how much they would cost, but knowing what some of these other projects people have done where they've encased real things inside of acrylic, how they tend to cost a little bit more. I was like, I don't think I'm trying to drop $100+ on a acrylic coated piece of pizza. But man, I love pizza that much that if I had the kind of dumb money to blow, I might. Like I just might. Like I know I need a pizza tattoo in my life. That's how much I love pizza. I'm willing to tattoo pizza to my body.
Party pizza?
Yeah, actually, that was always my plan. I needed my party pizza guy to be the tattoo.
That'd be hilarious, dude.
Dude,
Fuck
honestly, I would get a tattoo like that for sure, especially if I created like you did. Fuck yeah.
Funny, I realized later on in life that I was probably inspired by an existing image of a cool pizza dude, but fuck it, my party pizza is mine. So again, that's why I would have to do it because I'm not much of an artist, but I'll tell you what, on those long closing shifts at that gas station, you had no customers for hours on end sometimes. You come up with some weird shit. And I had a whole comic series, little like 4-panel comics of Party Pizza and his friends. So that's how bored I would get.
Side note, blue cherry Gatorade is fucking delicious, dude.
What's the blue?
I don't know, but it's good. I haven't had one in a really long time, and I grabbed one the other day. And it's really good, dude.
Blue cherry.
It's better than the white cherry one they have.
And dude, that's a fucking bold statement for me.
Yeah, because I like that one too.
That's good. Yeah,
I like that one too, but I kind of think I like this one more, bro. You should try it, Chris, if you find it.
Yeah, blue cherry. All right.
Yeah, it's very similar color to like the cool blue, but it's a little darker.
Yeah, like
it's one of the fierce ones. Fierce.
Okay, fierce.
Yeah,
so,
fierce.
You know what? I might get one of those. I haven't fucking had a Gatorade in quite a while. So
I actually drink Gatorade quite a bit, along with water at work. To keep up the electrolytes.
Yeah. I just
and dude, honestly,
fucking water.
Are you guys?
Which I'm thirsty.
Are you guys the type that would put Gatorade in the freezer until like it gets almost like completely frozen, and then you shake it, and then it turns into a fucking slushy?
I can say no, but I have gotten like a Gatorade slushy from like 7-Eleven or something.
They are so fire, bro. I do it every day at work, and I time it perfect. I put it in when I get there, pull it out after my lunch break, and it's perfect every time.
Really?
And it stays
that long?
And it stays because by that time it usually gets almost completely frozen, but then I just kind of like knock it up against something hard a little bit to kind of just break it up. Yeah. And then it stays cold for the rest of the day.
That's smart.
Yeah, dude. And then I just pop it in the fridge or in the freezer when I go to break, and then grab it. Yeah, dude. Clutch.
I'm not a Gatorade drinker. It's never been my thing.
I like it, dude.
It's just it's too much salt. Like instead of that, I went for like I always went to like the vitamin waters, or now it's been Body Armor.
Dude, one of the vitamin waters, it's like some weird berry one. I can't remember what it is, but I used to like crush that like when I was a lifeguard back in my like late teens.
I used to drink the dragon fruit vitamin water a lot.
That might have been what I was
the power.
There's that one. There's like a blueberry SIE, which is really good.
Isn't there a pomegranate one too?
There's a pomegranate one. Yeah, there's a mango one that I used to smash. Bro, the mango was so good. I used to smash the shit out of it. I still grab one from time to time, but
I've tried those Body Armors too. They're pretty good, but they taste like too much like juice to me.
See, the beauty of those is the coconut water. 10% coconut water, and coconut water has that amazing ability to be more bioavailable for you, so you absorb things quicker, which is awesome.
I even tried the Gator Light is what they're calling it. So it's like a Pedialyte but Gatorade version. Let me tell you, Sean, you think Gatorade's salty, son? Holy fuck, bro! I thought I was drinking like salt water or something at first. I was like, what the fuck, dude? It's a lot. There's a lot.
And I get it, you need to replenish the salts, but that's like sometimes I feel like that's just overkill for me.
It was too much, bro. It was hard to drink.
Like Gatorade's not hard to drink. I get that. It's just that like for most of the time, I don't need the amount of sodium I would get out of a Gatorade. So I'm not
dude, I'd be sweating so much.
Yeah,
bro.
like I'm not sweating nearly as much. I go to the gym, I sweat it out there. And then like I get my sodium back from my protein shake right after. So like it's not so bad. I'm not like in the 100+ degree weather in a shop working. If I was just still doing that kind of thing, I would probably pound a lot more Gatorade and things like that. Because I would be sweating enough I would need to. But thankfully I'm not in that position anymore.
Dude, honestly, like part of me, like this is gonna sound dumb because I literally will drink bottled water. But like anything that's like put together kind of by like scientists to some level, like I'm kind of I don't know. I'm always a little bit nervous about like over consuming it. You know what I mean? So like Gatorade, even I used to drink it. I would drink it like it'd be a real hot ass fucking day, and I'd already probably smoked like 30 cigarettes, and like I was just dry as fuck, and I'd be like, yo, I just need something extra. And I want something that tastes good or sweet. And so instead of a pop, I would grab like a Gatorade, you know what I mean? But I feel like because the way that they put those together, like you guys are talking about like the electrolytes or like the fucking all the added stuff for like the basically the Pedialyte version. Like so they're like creating these things. Like for some reason it just like makes me nervous to like go ham on them. You know what I mean? I guess it's like everything, right? Moderation is key, but like sometimes it's hard to moderate yourself.
Oh, no, but you're right though. Like with all the like dyes and shit, just like in as like Gatorade is a perfect example. Like the amount of dyes that go into those, uh, yeah. You drink enough of them, you can affect your bodily functions. Things start coming out colors.
Visibly even.
Yeah, you go to the bathroom and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, am I bleeding? No, I've just been drinking nothing but fruit punch Gatorade for the last month. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, for
It's
real.
a lot of red dye in my diet right now. I gotta stop this. You know what I'm saying? Like, never mind, man. If you're a fan of the blues, oh Jesus, you're gonna see green and other funny colors. Be like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Am I dying? Nope, you just drink too much Gatorade. Okay,
You gotta drink a lot of it for that to happen, though, man.
not as much as you might think.
Trust me, Sean. I drink them every day, bro.
I'm a person who's done it. That's why I'm saying not as much as you might think.
I don't notice any difference, bro. And I drink quite a bit.
I was
like,
pounding.
I used to drink 6 a day for about 2 months straight.
There was a time where again, convenience store life, and with that company, you got a shift drink, or it was a little allotment, so you could get a drink and a snack if you wanted. And I had figured out a perfect hustle where, with the deals that they were running, I could grab like this bag of chips and a Gatorade, no money out of pocket, fire. So I was getting the sport bottle ones because that was the one that was in the sale that allowed me to pull that off. And yeah, man, 1 or 2 of those a night. For the amount of time I was doing it, I definitely was seeing red in places I shouldn't have seen it.
That could have been something. I don't think it was just the Gatorade at that point, dude.
Maybe you were eating a bunch of beets, bro.
Because I literally drink one of these 32-ounce ones every single day, all the different colors, and I don't notice any difference.
Everybody's bodily functions are different.
That's true. Maybe your body breaks down that dye, James and Sean's doesn't. And that's possible.
And that's the thing.
I'm not
right?
a scientist once again. Like I'm
this
pretty
was
dumb
back
when it comes to this shit. But
this is back when I was like 19 or so.
Saying, I just don't say you can state it as fact if it doesn't happen for everybody.
Well, it's possible. How about that? There's a possibility that if you do this,
it's the thing. I'm not the only person I know who's had it happen to them, so I can say that it does happen to people. It definitely happens to people. Whatever. And that's the thing, man, is like the dyes that are in our foods alone is crazy. There are links to cancer from some of the dyes in our foods.
Yeah, well, I think that it's like everything, right? They did things before maybe like full testing could actually take place, right? And like by the time like it was found out, they might be removed now, but like I just remember there was like a dye that they took off the market, and I can only assume that it was because it had like negative effects long term, and it was like red dye number 5 or something like that. I can't really remember. I just like have like this like fuzzy thought that that's like was something that had happened.
I feel like that's the right number too.
But dude, it just literally it proves it's like anything is bad when you go too crazy. You know, like I'm sure that there's like probably records of people dying because they were overhydrated. Like it's just like this crazy thing. Like most people be like, yo, you got to drink your water. But there is such thing as too much water. You know?
Yeah. It's
you'd
crazy.
say that like, you know, it's not bad to have like a steak once a week, but it's bad to only eat steaks, period. like that's all you eat. Like, you know what I mean? There's just extremes of everything, and
it was probably red number 40. Because I just had to look it up because I was curious. And it says 3 dyes, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, have been found to be contaminated with benzidine or other carcinogens. At least 4 dyes, blue number 1, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, cause hypersensitivity reactions. So interesting. I know yellow 5 was the one that people said, because of its content, if you drank enough Mountain Dew, it would kill your sperm because of the yellow 5 in it. Now, obviously, I am pretty fucking confident that's not the case, because I know a lot of people who pound the fuck out of classic Dew who also have kids.
My brother has blown that out of the water already.
You know what I'm saying?
He's got 2 kids, bro, and that dude drank more Mountain Dew than I do. So like, and I drink a lot of fucking Mountain Dew, boys.
Shout out to the homie Sketchy. He was one of those people who swore he was never going to be able to have kids because of his Mountain Dew, and like, he's honestly, a proud parent as well.
When it comes to drinking excessive amounts of things, Mountain Dew is one of those things that I definitely drink way too much of, like more than anybody really should.
Yo,
I am not afraid to admit it because I know it's a problem.
I relate. There was a time me and the homie Sketchy 2 liters daily. Like, we walked around with 2 liters, like people walk around with 20-ounce bottles.
Well, dude, especially like when we were younger, you could roll into like the grocery store. Instead of, if you didn't go into the convenience store and you went in the grocery store, you could get like a 2 liter for probably like 69 cents or 79 cents or some shit.
Yeah, never mind. You get like those like 3 for $1.50 sales and shit like that when we were younger.
Like, depending on the brand, you can get a couple for like $1 or $2 cheaper.
Yep. So like we would do that. We'd roll into the
with buddies.
We'd go buy like 3, 4 fucking guys, 2 liters.
It's Coke this week. I'm gonna grab a cherry. What are you gonna get? You gonna get a Sprite? All right.
Hell no.
We got Dr. Pepper's left on the list. Unless you want to get just the classic Coke, or unless you're a diet fucker, then you can get diet. But that's just terrible.
Dude, I would love it on the Pepsi days because I'd just be like, 7-Up, let's go.
See, 7-Up's not under Pepsi out here.
No, really?
Yeah, not here. Not here either.
Its own thing.
7-Up and Dr. Pepper are actually their own brand.
Yep.
Yeah, see up here.
Because out here, Pepsi's got Sierra Mist.
Yeah.
Which is terrible. Even worse than 7-Up.
Because yeah, like if you go anywhere, like so if they
the only time Sierra Mist is good,
like 7-Up, and they'll have Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, like and the Dr. Pepper, like that's what's at Taco Bell and Mountain Dew.
The only time that Sierra Mist is good is when they would do the cranberry one for the fall. That was the only good one. That shit was delicious.
I agree. They even tried. I think they tried a cherry Sierra Mist. That was not good either. But I agree that cranberry one was fire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and it only come out during the holidays too, during like fall time.
That's like Sunkissed is its own brand too.
Yeah. Sunkissed. Cactus Cooler out here is under its own thing. I think it's actually under like with 7-Up and all those guys.
But yeah, like I know what is it? Dr. Pepper 7-Up, they will often contract to use Coca-Cola bottling plants around here. So like when I was working for the convenience store, I ordered my Dr. Pepper 7-Up products from my Coke supplier.
They co-pack through Coke.
Yeah, but it was, when you looked at the bottle, it didn't say a Coca-Cola product. It said a product of Dr. Pepper 7-Up on it.
Yeah, they just co-pack through them.
Yeah.
So like they do their distribution along with Coke. So like if you go to places and they carry Coke products, most of the time they're gonna have like Dr. Pepper and stuff like that. And if they carry Pepsi, they'll have like Pib or some shit like that instead of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, we don't get Mr. Pibb around here, which I always found interesting.
It's not good anyway.
I know I've had it when I was a kid.
It's really, dude. Honestly, I'd rather have like Dr. Thunder or some shit. You guys remember that Dr. Thunder? It was like the fucking Shasta Walmart brand or something. Still
around. It's still around. Dr. Thunder. And honestly, for a knockoff brand. The Dr. Pepper, the Dr. Thunder is not bad. It's not bad. It could
Dude,
definitely
honestly,
be worse.
I'll say this: any knockoff Dr. Pepper is still actually pretty good. I've actually never had like a knockoff Dr. Pepper that wasn't still pretty good pop.
I remember there was one called Dr. Bob that we found, and my mother and her husband Bob had to have it because obviously his name's Bob. He's like, dude, that's hysterical. I need a bottle. And again, it was okay. It wasn't awful. It was enjoyable. But yeah, Dr. fucking Bob, man. You got Mountain Lightning.
Mountain Lightning was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, Mountain
It was more
Lightning's not bad.
citrusy than anything, dude. It kind of tasted more like a lemon lime soda than Mountain Dew. But
What is it? What is it called? Moon Mist. That's the Faygo Mountain Dew.
I've never seen that.
Moon Mist, I think, is actually really good. I for like a weird ghetto brand soda like that. I really fucking enjoy Moon Mist. Also, talking about Faygo, they're the only company I've ever seen do it. They have a rock and rye flavor.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like one that just like tastes real good to mix with rye?
I'm sure because rock and rye is a bourbon drink you're supposed to use rye whiskey with. And though it doesn't taste like the actual cocktail's supposed to taste, it's really fucking good. And now that I'm talking about it, I wish I could get some rock and rye right now.
Get yourself a little rye whiskey.
Oh man, there used to be a spot in a town up the street from me that used to carry Faygo products, and it was because friends of mine back in high school, they all just bugged the owner like nonstop, like you got to carry Faygo, you got to carry Faygo, you got to carry Faygo, all because I was the kid that brought them the whole Juggalo thing, so they all got into it, and yeah, dude, they bugged the guy until he finally got a distributor and started carrying the Faygo, and it was actually pretty solid.
That's fucking awesome.
So
it's like,
rockin',
yo, I'm probably gonna stop coming here if you don't get Faygo. Like the store down the street has Faygo, homie. Like get me some Faygo here.
like, and it's dirt cheap fucking pop. You know what I mean?
It's basically flat as fuck. I've never
Yeah.
had Faygo that was like not flat as fuck, so I just can only assume that that's
That's because all the new carbonated bottles get bought by the Insane Clown Posse and use at their concerts.
or they're all shaken previous. Like that's part of the deal. They get shaken and then they get shipped out.
Because I can tell you for fact, having been to enough ICP shows, that there's plenty of carbonation in those bottles. And maybe it's all in the 3 liters. Maybe that's where all the carbonation winds up. There's no room for the small bottles. It's all in their 3 liters.
Dude, they have 3-liter bottles of pop.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I've never even seen that. Honestly,
Shasta has 3 liters.
I always just see 1-liter bottles of Faygo. Like it'll be like the grab and go size is what they call it.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. If they have a 3-liter bottle, the 1-liter is grab and go.
Yeah. And Shasta is the other regional brand. Shasta and Faygo are like the same company.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I get Shasta around here more than I see Faygo. But like my Dollar Tree, right at the
Do they
right at the
taste
road.
the same then? So like
Yeah.
the Shasta fruit, the Tiki Punch from Shasta is the same fruit punch
Yeah.
from Fuego.
Yeah,
Dude, that shit is fire, dude.
yeah,
It's
because
like a carbonated fruit punch, bro, and it's delicious.
the Shasta, what is it? The Shasta pineapple and the Faygo pineapple are identical. The orange definitely identical. They've got that same like not normal orange soda flavor.
Kind of got like that bite.
It's got that like. Did you get like actual orange oil and drop like a drop or two in the vat? Because it tastes a little more like real
like
orange.
what you think orange soda would taste like.
Yeah, dude. Like it tastes more like real orange juice that's carbonated, kind of.
It's good, dude.
It is. It's weird.
What else do they have that's pretty good? Their cola's okay.
Their root beer actually doesn't suck.
Yeah, their root beer's not bad. Makes good floats.
Yeah, it's a lot creamier than some of the big name brands,
Dude,
in my opinion.
Barks, though.
Dude, Barks, yeah.
Dude, a Barks cream soda?
Dude,
I'm not a cream soda guy.
Have you ever had their white cream soda, Sean? Barks has a white cream soda and a pink cream soda. Which is the one you've had?
The one I've had is more golden, so I'm assuming that's the white.
Oh, maybe they have 3 then. Dude, no. We have like clear.
Okay, that's birch beer.
No, it's like clear cream soda from Barks.
Yeah, that's
And then
typically.
there's also pink.
I think the clear is typically known as birch beer or sarsaparilla, though. In most common other brands I know.
We'll have to look this up.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that A&W has like golden kind of cream soda that I don't like. But yeah, Barks has like they had. Dude, I haven't fucking bought anything Barks in a fucking while. But they had like clear and they also had pink. And the clear was like much more creamy. It was like more like a Caribbean style cream soda almost. Which, by the way, if you never had, like, I can't remember, it's like this Jamaican cream soda. I think it's called like Island Co. Pop or something. They have like a pop, it's like a pop top, not even a twist top. You got to pop the top, and it's like the creamiest cream soda. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
So
Never had it.
the one I'm thinking of must be the clear, because the picture I'm seeing is in like a goldish can, and they call it cream soda French vanilla.
I feel like that's different.
Yeah.
I feel like the one I had just was cream soda.
Because like
Dude, I used to get it even in glass bottles, like Prince Edward Island, like the smallest little province on the East Coast where my parents have a cottage.
I'm looking
They
at the
used to
glass
have,
bottles.
like,
They're still
all
gold.
glass bottles, dude. Oh,
That's-
well, down there they would. When I would buy it there, it would be white, like clear.
Yeah,
Clear,
yeah,
like Sprite or 7-Up.
weird, because like I'm not even seeing it in a Google. I'm only seeing the gold version I'm familiar with, and then the red version, which I've never had. I had no
I see
idea it
it.
existed.
I see a red cream soda. Let's go to.
I've had clear cream sodas, but not from Barks. And like, I usually enjoy them. Unfortunately, who is it? A&W, I think. Not A&W. IBC. I think the IBC cream soda was one of the clear ones, and theirs is not as good as I remember it from being a kid. It's like not nearly as creamy, which was a
Yeah,
letdown.
according to their website, they only have the red cream soda. Weird.
Wow, this is the Great Barks cream soda mystery of 2022.
Parks debate.
Maybe there's more available in Canada than there is in the States.
Yeah, like well, I think that there is some things that we have that you guys don't have. Like you guys don't have Pineapple Crush, right?
We
do.
do.
Do you have Strawberry Crush?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have a Lime Crush?
No.
I've not seen a Lime Crush, no.
Dude, that's fucking super good.
So Google says that they're like doesn't even have a picture of a clear Barks.
Yeah, man, it used to be. It was in when I was in PEI. It was in a fucking clear bottle, clear
Wild.
drink, and then it
Like
had
glass bottle or no?
Yeah, no, it was glass, dude. PEI until like 3 years ago only had glass bottles. There was no cans available on the island, dude. Like every time, maybe it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember, but
Oh, that one's
not that
empty.
long ago.
See, Barks is such an old school brand that like I'm
Yeah, dude.
kind of not fully surprised. Oh,
Are you sure it was Barks?
you sure it's not
Yeah, dude.
Bar?
No, it was, dude. It was Sparks. It was Sparks. The label was like white with like pinky kind of white and pinky, and it said like Barks.
Hang on, because I'm not doing it from my computer. So, did it look something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
Bar,
Bars.
not Bark.
No. It looked like that, but it was a glass bottle, dude.
Yeah,
But
well, that's because I think you read the brand wrong, my friend. Because here, I'll show it to you in a glass bottle.
We don't have that. No, but we don't have that brand up here.
Because there it is in a glass bottle.
Yeah, no. That's not the same. It's not the same.
Well, it's matching
I'll look.
every description you're giving me,
Look,
man.
Sure,
look,
it's not
look.
IBC.
No, dude, I'm confident. Like the only thing that you're like swaying my confidence is that it was clear, but I'm sure that it was clear because I remember thinking, "Whoa, this is weird," because at home it's pink. L- let me look.
Yeah, man. You got.
Yeah,
I will
'cause
look.
I can't find it.
Crush
too
has a
bad.
clear cream
And
soda.
I'm just scrolling through images, and it's not even popping up on Google Images.
Too bad I didn't take pictures, like hand check pictures back then.
Yeah. Like I'm now like obsessed with this mystery. I'm also blown away that again, Crush makes a cream soda.
Yeah, but up here it's pink.
According to these pictures, it's clear product with a pink label.
Yeah, up here it's still pink. Like the actual
Weird.
top, it's
Oh,
pink.
well, I did. All right. I did just finally come across a picture of a Crush cream soda bottle where the contents are pink, which is really weird. What makes it different by being pink? Is it just like they changed the color for the fun of it, or does it actually have a flavor difference?
Okay, I found a Barks cream soda, but it's not pink. It's not clear. It's more of a like standard cream soda color. But the label is just like a barrel with Barks.
See, so like this is like what they would have looked like what I was like when at home for me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's all I can find. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna try to find. So that was like the frame of reference. So now I'm gonna try to find one.
Sure, you're not talking about this one, Chris.
Oh, Stewart's makes a banging cream soda too.
Sure, it's not this.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Because honestly, dude, I've never been a fan of like the golden cream sodas.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
Yeah.
I've never had any other ones though.
See, like the mug one's really good. Theirs is a golden cream soda, super creamy. But like the weird companies like Virgil's, that one's a banger.
Dude,
And
honestly, like so many different pops are so good though.
What is this? Spiced cherry? Barks? What? That sounds delicious.
Dude, that does sound good.
a cherry cream soda, or just
Here, I'll show you.
or just Barks doing a cherry. Because either way, I'm intrigued.
Dude, look at this fucking old can. An old
Spiced
Fanta
cherry.
with the pull top off.
Oh, okay. I'm still confused by it, but also
here.
very intrigued.
Right?
Because like that could be just a spiced cherry root beer, a spiced cherry cream soda, like a spiced cherry cola. Either way, I need to know. In this weird subject, we talked about it once before that I was reaching out to a snack food.
Dude, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Mug cream soda? I've never even fucking
Yeah.
seen it.
I've never seen it either.
It's I have it out here. Mug root beer and mug cream soda, and they're delicious. But yeah, I actually have started discussions with a exotic snack food company to sponsor an episode. So hopefully in the not so distant future, we'll be getting all those details tied up, and I'll be able to send you guys a care package of some weird exotic foods curated by the company. And we'll be able to have a snack episode where we can try some of these weird exotic foods and talk
That makes
about
me
them.
really excited.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
like,
I'm like I'm interested.
right? Like, I want to eat like some weird like Japanese
Dude,
potato chip
just-
flavor. or
just
Just
some
how
give
many
me
shit,
bugs,
you know?
maybe no
I don't
bugs.
want to just speak for all of us here, but how many times have we sat here and it just had the munchies so bad and just started talking about things? And it would just be nice to actually have some snacks to eat and talk about at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? It's like I've looked at their website and stuff. It doesn't look like he carries bugs. When I say like weird snack foods, I'm talking like those odd Lay's potato chip flavors from around the world that you'll never get in Canada or here in the US. Kit Kat bars is another example of one of those companies that has like millions of strange flavors in other countries that we don't ever see
Okay,
here.
so we're not getting like nasty, like weird, creepy shit. It's just like different flavored stuff. That's
no, or it'll be like some weird like Korean soda pop where we don't know what it even says on the label.
Oh, one of those ones where you got to like push the little fizz thing into it and then like it does its thing. I've always wanted to try one of
right?
those.
Like I have no idea. We are in the early discussions, but I reached out, asked if he might be interested in sponsoring an episode, and providing us some snacks to talk about. And we'd plug the shop, and he said, yeah, they'd be very interested. So the discussions are rolling. But I just like the idea excites me so much to be like, so next we've got these, Korean barbecue rib flavored potato chips. Let's try this.
That sounds fire.
We're gonna wash it down with some strange fruit flavored soda that we can't fully describe because it's in a language we don't recognize. And then
Side
we're
note,
gonna,
I just seen something right now, just looking at my screen. Gene Simmons Moneybag Soda. It's a cream soda by Gene Simmons.
Dude, is it what color is it?
Guess how much it is, bro?
$25 a bottle.
$4 for a 4-pack.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
I mean, all right. I will say this. Gene Simmons is the master of the cash grab branding.
Bro.
Oh, dude, he is very much an entrepreneur. There's no doubt. Like he's
if he can brand it,
dude.
If he can brand it, he's gonna do it because someone will buy it. And
wow,
I can't knock the hustle. I've known some Kiss Army fanatics who that's what he's making it for.
Oh, he's got a diet cola. What other flavors does he have? Regular cola and a root beer.
In the weird world of celebrity foods, did you also know that Lil Yachty has a pizza line right now?
Oh yeah, dude. All that dude eats is pizza.
I don't even know who that guy is, but just by his name Lil, I'm assuming that he's like a performer.
Yeah, he's one of these. He's correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's like part of that whole mumble rap scene, right?
Well, sort of, kind of. He came around at the same time.
Okay, yeah, like that's all I knew about him is like he's part
got
of
a
that.
Very interesting tone of voice for sure.
Is it like YAHTEY or something?
Yeah, yachty.
Right.
Like you'd spell yacht, but with an extra Y at the end.
Yep.
Well, yachty, I like it.
Our little boat.
Yeah. Well, that was the problem is that a little boat was already taken, so it had to be a little yachty. Some of those little names out there are just ridiculous. Like, God bless his heart, Lil Pump. Just a Lil Pump. Just a wee one. Like what? No,
There's some weird names, bro.
Not the best choice. Not the best choice.
Dude, I go by Frames Janklin, man. I can't really say nothing.
Yeah, but it's a little bit more creative than just like putting Lil in front of something. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, you gotta
Lil
admit,
Dago.
Lil Yachty does sound kind of cool.
Listen, I'm not gonna hate on how it sounds. I'll agree.
Just kidding. It's funny. It's hilarious.
But like, it was one thing when we were growing up. We had Lil Kim, and then we had Lil Bow Wow,
Lil Wayne,
then Lil Wayne, like Lil Soda Boy. Stop it! I literally just put Lil into Google, and the first fucking result, Lil Soda Boy. All right, what?
We just need to stop.
Yeah, we do need to stop. Just stop worrying about it.
What is going on here?
We're gonna go down another rabbit hole we don't need to go
Dude,
down right now.
What is going on here?
It'll take us too far.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. I'm about to become a Soda Boy fan, I think. Listen, all right. I'm gonna laugh at how silly the name is, but he's got 50.2 thousand monthly listeners on Spotify, so he's doing something right. Definitely doing something right. Something I'm not doing.
Yeah, dude. You know what's I always find crazy with Spotify is like I'll think of a band, I'll be like, yo, I haven't fucking heard this in like a while, like I need to listen to it. And like I'll go and I'll be like, yo, there's only like 700,000 monthly listeners, which is a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, like that's a fucking lot. But then you'll like see somebody that's just like some flash in the pan, like just like basically just going off of someone else's sound and just putting out some hit or whatever. And there's like 10 million monthly listeners, and you're like, yo, that's not fair. Like, that's not fair. Like,
Dude.
why is it? Why is the world this way?
I understand. Like I was putting together a playlist on Spotify the other night, and it was weird to me because like there were certain artists that like in my mind are big in their genre, and yet you'd see these like play counts on some of their songs, and you'd be like, really? You don't even have 1 million plays on this song, but I love this song. And then you like there were other bands where it's like, why does that song have over 15 million plays, but this other banger right here has like 1 million? Blows my mind. I don't understand the rhyme and reason. And I also notice that sometimes the number counting on those platforms isn't that good anyway. So there's that. But it boggles my mind sometimes.
You know what, dude? It really does, though. It does. It really does. But that's like anything, though, for some reason. I feel like there's like plenty of things that just get slept on in life, Like you see like real good talent that just gets like not wasted because they're still out there putting in work, but like it's just they don't necessarily get the recognition. You see like just all sorts of stuff like that happen in life. And like I guess like I'm kind of living that today, but like it's just one of those things that you see and you'll be like, man, this doesn't make sense. You'll see like I just remember going to like shows too when I was younger, and like the opening act would be like nobody would have heard of them, and like you would have found out that they were on that tour the whole time and like still like very not relevant, and you'd be like, yo, how does this even happen? Like how does somebody that's like this good just like not get noticed more? Like, and I guess they're on this tour or whatever, so like it's maybe just not their time, but like you just see so much talent that doesn't get to where you think it should. It's weird.
No, I know what you mean though. There are times you're like, how are you not the headliner?
You know what part of it is, and it's the shitty part when it comes down to like just show business and entertainment in general, is if you don't have the production machine behind you to market you in the right places and get you in front of the right audiences, it's harder to break out. You know what I mean?
Well, there's also a politics of the whole situation, right? Because it is very much who you know.
Exactly. So it's like you have to battle not only like that part of it, but then it's like also trying to get in front of the right crowds to get you the right, recognition or get you the right set of eyes on you to bring you to the different, areas that are going to get you the listens and then going to help you build the audience. But that's why, you see a lot of those bands going on those tours though, because they're trying to get to that right scene, to get the right people to see them. And some of them, they're on that tour scene for a fucking long time before they get noticed. And it's fucking part of that grind. And then you see people that just pop up out of nowhere and then all of a sudden just bang. It's crazy.
I mean, we see the same thing with acting though. Like how many times have we seen like incredible actors, but they always get like such weak roles. And you're watching these people going, dude, if he ever gets, a bigger role,
finally they catch it. Yeah.
And that's it. Then they light up.
Like, I mean, boom. Finally, I knew you were going to do it.
And I mean, now, like, it's funny because I think we get the advantage here of hindsight in some of the cases where we can see people who maybe had like lesser roles in earlier films, and then we got to see how they would just blow the fuck up over time.
It's kind of cool getting to witness the breakout. For like, like maybe it is like you're saying, Chris, like a band that you've seen at a show and then all of a sudden you started following them for a while. And the next thing you know, they're headlining their own fucking arena tour. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, I remember when you guys were headlining and dude, this is sick. Or like on Sean's thing where it's like, you've been seeing this guy pop up on like random shows or getting like little minor roles in like movies. You're like, man, I kind of like this guy. I like his vibe. And then all of a sudden, he's leading man in the next fucking flick or leading woman, and you're just like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I knew you were gonna do it, and then they go in and kill that role, and then just continue to fucking book bigger and bigger things. It's crazy.
It is cool, dude. You know, and how good does that feel when you see some like band or like you see something like that, and you're like, yo, these guys are fucking so good, and you kind of like shill it a little bit to your friends, maybe, and then like within a year or two, it's like they're playing fucking big time shows, and you get to see them, and then at some point they get like bigger than you wish that they did, only because now you don't get that same experience of going and experiencing it. You know what I mean? That happened to me a few times where you're like, yo, I saw this band. There's like fucking 50 people in the fucking bar. It was fucking amazing. I loved it. And then the next time you see them, it's like a year and a half later, and they're playing like a venue of like 1,500 people, and it's like not that same vibe, and you're not like right there fucking screaming in their face while they're playing like along with them. You know what I mean? It's like just that different feeling. You're like, oh man, kind of wish they didn't make it. Like super selfish, obviously, but like you can just kind of like, I kind of wish they didn't make it.
I'll take that 1,500 make it though over like when you see the one where it's like, yo, I'm happy for them. They're in this venue, and then they reach that point where it's like now it's the like $75 to $100 ticket, and you're like, fuck, dude. I remember when these dudes used to cost me $30 to go see because they'd play that like 1,000, 1,500 head room, and now like $100 fucking dollars, and they're playing with these kind of like, I can't do that anymore. Like there are hip hop groups I used to go see that like. It was a $20 ticket, general admission. You'd be, get on the floor. That was it. And you had to fight your way to the front. And then, they blew up. And then all of a sudden it was a $50 ticket. Now they do like big shit. They get the tour with big people. Now you're talking like those $7,500 tickets. And it's like, man, I'm happy. I'm happy to see it happen to anybody. But it sucks on the selfish side that I can't afford to be going to as many of those shows no more. That's why I loved the local scene. Like when I was heavy into the local music scene, it was always cool to be like, yeah, what's the door? Oh, $7. Got you. I'll be there. You just go see some band at a fucking VFW or some little dive bar.
I used to love going to like little underground shows or just local shows and stuff, dude. Dude, it's a totally different vibe, like you're saying, Sean, because it's like it's smaller group of people, dude, more intimate sort of scene. Yeah. Like you feel like you're more part of the show than just being at the show.
Well, I mean, usually in those situations too, it's in the come up, right? So it's like,
oh yeah,
it's the first few, 5 years of that band playing, and they're just booking shows.
They're still hungry.
Yeah, dude. And so like you're an early adopter, and I love being an early adopter. Trust
dude, in
me.
anything, isn't that great? Yeah, dude.
I love it.
I remember this band, like, so they never got like crazy huge, but like they got pretty big. They played like Warped Tour. They played like they would be like the band right before like No Effects on a couple of tours. Like they got pretty big, and they're called the Flatliners, and they're from like real close to where I grew up. And like I remember going and watching them play in like a church basement where there was like fucking 40 like just punk kids from like my area at it, or like at a fucking unit party where there'd be like somebody like, I remember there was these kids that were like around my age, and they actually rented a unit, and they used to throw fucking like they didn't serve alcohol or anything, but all ages parties in this unit. And it was literally just like a fucking 2-car garage. There was like 3 or 4 times as deep, and they'd have like a stage in there, and like, dude, I remember seeing them play there, all sorts of shit. And like the next time I remember I saw them like a few years later, and it was like at like 4,000 people's like not arena, but venue.
Yeah, like
a bigger venue.
And like, dude, there were so many people who were so hyped for them because like they were headlining a show of that size at that time. Like that's not even with No Effects, like that's at a different time, but they got signed to like Fat Records and shit, so that's how they got linked up with No Effects, because that's like Fat Mike's record label. But I just remember that, and I remember thinking like, yeah, that's so crazy. And I remember actually talking to a friend of mine that used to play those shows with them. Like they had their own band, and they would play like the bill with the Flatliners, and I'd be like, yo, dude, if that, like, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. Like, if that was you guys, like, I would be a fucking wreck right now because I would have quit my fucking job and just went on tour for you guys and like carried shit, slung merch, and I wouldn't have given a fuck. I would have just been like blackout drunk all the time, all over the place. It would have been amazing.
Like,
But I guess that's the dream for a lot of people, right? If you're doing even like that scene or like that style of music that's like never really going to get mainstream, where you're like a millionaire, but just like getting paid to like roll and just party and fucking play dope ass shows and like see a bunch of new shit, not on your dime, must be incredible, you know?
Yep. It's funny because we know the Unseen, and one of my local bands out here fucking actually has a song about them because of that hatred of their come up and Dark Buster not going along with them. So it's a song literally called "I Hate the Unseen," and trust me, it's a great song. It's funny as hell too. But yeah, like that's the fun thing about that whole punk scene in general, right? Like I remember when the Sellouts got their opportunity and they kind of started to blow up, and the Sellouts actually lived up to their name by blowing off an underground punk show to go play this like radio station show instead, and that prompted the guys to in 48 hours write a song called "The Sellouts Suck" and perform it at that show. So that's a scene. I miss that scene a lot. I got to see like Toxic Narcotic in some of those like little shitty dive bar VFWs and shit like that. I've seen some cool bands because of those kind of events. And yet, unfortunately, the band we used to follow, they ended up falling apart. One of the singer is now a hippie in the California mountains. The guitar player is a video company here in Boston. Like, it's crazy. They all went their separate ways, did like completely wildly different things.
That's not, you know why though? Probably because they never got like crazy rich and famous.
Yeah, I mean, pogo punk.
Well, like, dude, think about it, right? Like, just like quickly, like I don't want to drag the show on or anything, but like if you think about it, like even like bands like, for example, like a Less Than Jake or a Millencolin, right? They've literally lived a life of being professional musicians and like they probably lived comfortably, but like they're probably not driving fucking Lambos or you know, fucking doing a bunch of shit, like renting a jet to like go to some event. Like I don't know if like they've ever hit those levels of fame or like fortune, whatever, but like they still live like a pretty dope ass life, I'm sure. But they've had to just keep on grinding, keep on going, keep on enjoying what they're doing, which has got to be incredible. You know, if you get to enjoy something like that and that's the life you get to live, that's got to be pretty fucking fun.
I mean, at the beginning, right? That's just the goal of every musician at the heart of it is like you'd love to live off your music. And if you can do that, then you're winning. At the end of the day, like you're winning. So shout out to all the people who have made it, because at that point you've made it. Like if you can live off the money you're making music, you're doing it. You've made it one way or the other, whether it's a little house on the hill or a giant mansion. Either way, you've made it. With that beautiful perspective, I think it's a great point for us to bring the show to a close. So remember, kids, it's not the size of the mountain, it's the victory of reaching the top.
Oh, dude, I like that.
So Uncle Chris, take it away.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Feel free to, you know, give us a good old listen on our podcast site. Good old Shedtime podcast. Go over there, check that out. It's got all of our information, including our Patreon, which then you can see the video. And you know, there's a few other fringe benefits for sure on there. So feel free to do that. If you guys want to check me out individually, you can on Tuesday nights on KVTV's YouTube channel for Mixing It Up. It's just an e-liquid mixing show where we just do a bunch of DIY. You can check us out on Friday nights on the Green Room on French Nickel Paper's YouTube channel. And of course, you can check out my website, Uncle Chris Testing Grounds. Go feel free to check that out. Use the coupon code Shedtime while you're there. And get some e-liquid. And I think that's everything for me. So everybody be safe, have a good week, and live your best life. Frames.
All right. Shout out to all the Shedheads once again for tuning in and listening. Appreciate you guys' support. Like Chris said, go check us out on Fridays over on my YouTube channel for the Green Room. We do build-offs, we do hangouts, we do all kinds of cool stuff. We have some guests coming on as well too. So if you guys are interested in checking that out and hearing about some vape products, you can also check out my YouTube channel throughout the week. I will say I've been slacking a little bit, but hoping to get back on the horse and start cranking out some videos soon. Hopefully as soon as I start feeling a little bit better. But other than that, we'll be back here doing the thing that we always do in the shed with the boys. Check it out, shedtimepodcast.com, sending out all those positive vibes, crisp by fives. And as always, a little dab will do you.
Oh, yeah. So with all of that, guys, you know what I'm going to tell you. Don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun because it's the Shed Time Podcast, and we're about to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy, Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
Deuces.
Yeah, man.